Hello, welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Monday, January 11th, 2021. Epic sell-off in crypto and probably the wider markets today. Are you strapped in? Are you ready for this roller coaster ride to take its first major nosedive of this whole parabolic bull cycle we've been experiencing for the last, 4 to 8 weeks? Join with me as always is two of our regular analysts, Alex and Jason. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm great. You know how I am? I'm in Tether.
Well played, well played.
Yeah, I definitely hope you guys were listening last week because I don't think we could have left it off any better than that. Based on all the evidence that we were seeing, I mean, it played out beautifully. And me, myself, caught a beautiful short from 40 down to 32. Now we're just kind of waiting on what we're going to do here.
I did not catch a short, but I did tether up Sunday morning. So I managed to... I sold the top on my alt positions, guys. It's incredible. It never happens. But, I mean, the rest of the market looks so bad. I was just like, there's going to be some sort of pullback. I'll just take profits on everything, reconsolidate. Because I was in things were really popping last week. I was in 15, 20 alts or something like that. Yep. Just small positions because there's a lot of, smaller shitcoins. But I spent all yesterday morning selling them off, consolidating them. Gas prices were already bad yesterday. I hear they're a nightmare right now.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I did not go short, but I did save my capital, and I'm happy for that.
Hedged up.
All right. Well, if you're looking for anybody to blame, I guess Alex might be the guy. He pulled his alt liquidity out from under you guys, and your alt bags maybe
jumped on you, sucker. See ya.
We're playing, of course, but I think anybody who was following the signals this weekend and just general mentorship coaching from our analysts, I think did very well. I did see a $50 super chat roll through very early today from Marco. And I presume that's because Marco was really relieved to have our analysts kind of guiding him along through this market activity. I imagine, Marco, you were, judging by the $50 super chat, you must be pretty happy today. I think Alex probably put you on.
It was quite the sell-off, but it just goes to show you, we were prepared for it. We saw it coming. The evidence was building. And I think what we covered last week, right at the end, with what's happening with the Dixie on the fib levels that we were just tapping, I think it all played out beautifully.
I agree with you 100% on that. As a matter of fact, I think you guys are going to hear a lot of narratives over the coming weeks because while I do feel like we're going to sweep up to retest Bitcoin's highs, and we'll go over all of that. If you look, the broader markets are also pulling back, and I think we'll get a multi-week pullback here, as you'll see. And people are going to be looking for reasons. They're going to present to you a lot of different narratives. But this was all over the charts way before any supposed news stories happened. And, I'll show you things that we've all been looking at for a couple months. And you're going to have to ask yourself when you read these narratives, is that just this journalist's opinion, or does that make sense with what I know about the markets, having watched Alex for the past, X number of months. We'll be going over that. There's in a way, there's not a lot to look at in crypto. Everything is down. We can look and see if places are at good spots to pick up. And I think a lot of them are in good spots to pick up here, at least for a bounce, if not for another attempt at new highs on some of the alts. But the broader markets, they're at highs that we've been looking at. They've been at resistance, and now they're trading down. And you got to ask yourself if maybe the best time is just keep sitting into Tether. Or, keep sitting in cash. If the markets really do turn, it's not going to be a day or two and then boom, we're just right back in the markets and then all systems go. We could have, a multi-week turn. It happens.
Indeed.
It's perfectly normal.
It could be. After this parabolic move, I think all eyes were on a imminent correction. A lot of people were calling for the cold breeze to blow through the markets in January, and I suppose they were right. But me personally, I am a perma-bull. I couldn't bring myself to sell or short the top, but I was looking for big pullbacks to buy the dip. And that's exactly what I did. I'm glad I got an entry here. And fingers crossed, the 20% is, well, the worst of what's come for today at least. So let's see what comes next. Take a quick look over crypto bubbles. What's there to say? It's a complete sea
The bloodbath, buddy.
of red. Only the one thing sticks out here. Looks like NEO is up a few percent today, but yes, bloodbath across the board. But you might look at this as a buying opportunity. That's certainly how I am looking at it. I have been sleeping on Polkadot and THETA and a few others. I promised myself not to buy the top.
Well, you're getting some chances.
Yeah, this looks like it's it. This looks like a spot I can definitely throw a few bucks in at those two I mentioned. Maybe a few others. Might pack my bags here.
Arguably retesting its previous all-time high here. There's a number of different coins that are like that. They seem to be right now. They're in a position where they're retesting highs. They look interesting. Hello?
We'll have I'll have to explore all that. I'm still here, no worries. Alright, so we took a quick look at bubbles, sea of red, not much to say, but we will take requests later to explore some of the biggest victims, the alt victims of today. So if you guys still want to have us look...
Have we even looked at how much...
tomorrow.
Have we even looked at what the liquidations were over the weekend?
Actually, I got a story here. If we take a look over here to the right, let's see here. I think
Story time.
I think I had one here to the
Tell me
right.
a story, Jack.
What's going on here?
Papa Jack. What was it like during the crypto wars of 2021?
The Bitcoin crash of
It wasn't
January 11th.
pretty.
The Bitcoin crash of January of 2020, of 2021, of 2022,
2022.
Bitcoin crash of 2023, and of 2024. What was that one like?
You know they're going to be asking.
Delicious opportunities to buy major dips. What can I say? I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Let's see here. And you know what? I don't have it, but I did. I can probably pull it up very shortly.
Kids probably won't get it. They'll be like, "Dad, the government issued a new Bitcoin fiat. You got to try it." We're like, "Grr, you kids, you just don't get it."
Back in my day,
Grr.
be my own bank.
Take Bitcoins.
All right,
Check
but
your Bitcoins.
I did see a liquidation story a little earlier. I'm going to have to pull it up, but let's quickly review a couple of stories that are trending today. So these are the ones I love covering, and that is the institutional investment, especially in a day like this. If you need something to prop up market sentiment, a story like this should certainly hit the spot.
Feed us our hopium, please.
Yes, hopium necessary. This is where if you need a little reassurance when buying the dip, stories like this might hit the spot. Morgan Stanley increases their stake in MicroStrategy. By the way, holds $2.6 billion in Bitcoin. So apparently, Morgan Stanley filed with the U.S. SEC today, showing that they purchased 11% of the MicroStrategy, the business intelligence software and cloud-based services company. MicroStrategy, of course, has its stock soaring in recent weeks when the company began buying massive amounts of Bitcoin.
I think they're averaged in at like 21,000.
Yep, to date, MicroStrategy has purchased about approximately 70,000 Bitcoin, worth a staggering $2.6 billion at the time of this article.
Yeah, if Morgan Stanley thought this was a bad strategy that MicroStrategy was employing, they wouldn't increase their stake.
Yeah, they would not increase their stake at all.
Indeed, I don't think...
Bitcoin sucks. Let me divest myself of this company that's putting all its money into this asset that I don't like in this hypothetical scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, certainly grant some confidence moving forward. Let's take a look. Another one that came across the desk today. This is probably one for the crypto OGs. Dan Larimer submits his resignation as Block 1 CTO. Dan Larimer, if you haven't familiar with him, probably one of the most brilliant minds in crypto development out there. He's like probably
most brilliant scam artist, depending on how you want to look at it.
Maybe he's a builder, right? He builds and moves on to the next project. The rest is up to the community and to the people.
Well, you gotta finish what you're building, man.
Yeah, if every time the building falls down when you're done, you gotta ask yourself, is this guy really...
I'm not gonna hire this guy to build my buildings anymore.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, none of his previous projects have collapsed, right? They're still here, and they're still very functional.
Who uses BitShares? Who uses Steemit?
Steemit
And now
is,
who uses EOS now that he's leaving?
I know there are also RANs in this space, but in all fairness to Steemit, it's a very, very functional platform. Has I think some of the most dApp development on it next to Ethereum. So I think the proof is in the pudding. The man has built some very functional delegated proof of stake networks. DPoS has its faults, but I do think this man builds good stuff. It's just that the market's maybe not sophisticated enough to really take advantage of what he's built. We're too busy using other platforms, I suppose.
BitConnect.
Remember when EOS had the longest ICO in history? They got billions of dollars, and here he is leaving the project. Guys, do you think, if you're an EOS holder, do you think it's mission accomplished? Do you feel like it's mission accomplished? EOS is there. They've got the dApp development. All the issues are solved. Like, are you just so happy? Dan, mission accomplished. Just wrap it up, Dan.
It's hard to say what the company politics are like. Maybe he's just he's an engineer, he's a developer, he's not a leader, he's not a visionary that will ring lead things into the future. He's just builds quality, and people need to kind of do the rest after him, right? He's not going to be the one. He can build it, but he's not the one that's going to cheerlead people to come, right? So I think EOS, like many other probably crypto projects out there, it's not that it's a lack of quality or anything like that. It just might be that this is the DeFi ecosystem, the smart contract world is primarily based on Ethereum, and doesn't matter how competitive a product you build, Ethereum's got a huge first mover advantage, and other projects carry some baggage. So I think
that sounds like a lot of excuses from a loser blockchain.
Sounds like someone with some bags.
Yep. But you know what it is? I'm a Steemit guy. I am an EOS guy. I like Larimer. I think he's super
you
smart.
Have Stockholm syndrome. Because someone rescued back.
I'm primarily an Ethereum guy. Don't get me wrong.
Fall in love with your captor, are you?
I believe that I've seen a lot of Ethereum killers come and go. Nothing really comes of them. It seems like, for better or for worse, Ethereum, even with all of its high fees and low throughput right now, is still the market leader, and its time has proven that. So it's a shame that Larimer is walking away from Block.1, but who knows? Maybe the project can still go on. I'm sure lots of competent people are going to continue building on it. The architecture is there. Maybe just the internet and the market isn't quite ready for it yet, but let's not pretend like it's not a top 10, top 20 crypto still. It's still,
the Chinese Communist Party says it's the top blockchain in the world.
Tells you something, doesn't it? And the US SEC did settle with them and
they're notorious for being honest.
The US did give them a clean slate of health, so
that is good. That is one good thing in the checkbook. As a check mark in the box for EOS, that they're not a security. They settled up with the SEC for a pittance. They got a slap on the wrist. It was like $1 million or something. It's like a multi-billion-dollar project. They're like, okay, you're not a security. Go forth and sin no more.
Indeed. All right, let's take a quick look at the last couple stories in the pipeline before we move into the main part of the show. Let's see here. So this was a tweet that came out today just in. ICE says backed, which is of course the Intercontinental Exchange, says backed will list on the New York Stock Exchange through SPAC merger. Expected valuation $2.1 billion. Backed plans to raise an additional $532 million as part of the deal ahead of the launch on its digital asset consumer app in March. Says 400,000 users have already signed up. Yep. So
interestingly, Coinbase's speculative IPO is speculatively worth more than Back's speculative IPO.
Interesting.
Isn't Coinbase's already valued at like 70-80 billion?
I'm not sure.
I don't think it was that much, but it was certainly very generous. I'd have to go back and look at what the Coinbase value was.
I'll double check. You guys keep talking.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I heard Coinbase also went down in the midst of this whole market panic yesterday. I heard a lot of people crying that Coinbase
did it go down yesterday?
Down. Yeah, right as the dump, I guess, started yesterday. Coinbase suffered an outage, so best of luck.
Regular scheduled, unscheduled maintenance?
All right, so let's take a look. I'm gonna have to review a few of these comments because I see some good ones coming in. But finally, all right, so back, of course, coming to the New York Stock Exchange, just more indications that this industry is maturing and
An implied $70 billion market cap.
Ooh, boy.
At
All
current
right,
trading prices.
not bad then, not bad at all.
Just give me 1%.
Let's take a look here. Now we finally, all right, this one is just kind of capping up today's, main trending news. Bitcoin finds support despite the aggressive spot selling. The bull case apparently growing. So this particular analysis from Use BTC, I guess, is going to suggest that even though this massive selling pressure afoot, buyers losing their edge over the market, sellers target further downside. But you know what? If we do bounce from here, this could have just been an ideal 20% downturn to buy, and we're gonna keep climbing up. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Consider averaging in here and now. If you hesitated to buy, if you're asking us, if you're one of the many members who's coming through the Discord asking us, should I buy here? Should I buy here during this whole run up? Here was your opportunity to buy. If you were gonna FOMO in and buy 40K just a few days ago, this could be the opportunity you've been waiting for. Don't drop your whole bag into Bitcoin here, but you might be relieved to buy the first major pullback. Alex might dive into his pitchfork, some of his long-term pattern, so to speak.
We are kind of gaining support right off that fib level, aren't we?
I will have to check. I don't know if we're on a fib level, but we're definitely on a pitchfork line.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll go over that here soon.
Indeed. So finding some support here. Is this support going to hold? Will the buyers step in and start buying up this dip? We will find out, I guess, over the next few days. But I'm going to definitely allow the analysts a word and their thoughts on the space. All right, so we've covered that, and we're ready to kind of start the show. I'm just going to quickly dive into the live chat and shout out everybody who just came in. Subtext is in here. Hope I didn't miss much. Did I miss the analysis yet? No, we're still in the intro, still kind of chatting back and forth. About to dive in.
Bantering.
Yep, about to dive into the chat very, very shortly. But I'm going to scroll up first and shout out who's first through the door today. Peckham08. Oh, sweet Jesus, save us, buy us, do something, run for the hills. All right, so Peckham08, half panicking, probably jokingly, but shout outs to Peckham08. He says he's buying the dip and we'll be back to 37K by the end of the day. Indeed. We have HOF Daily in the live chat. Finally, the dump we've been waiting for. Cheers, CC team. Indeed. Crypto Caveman's in here, a channel supporter. Yo, what's going on? Hope you all got your red shorts on for a couple days ago at least. Had money on the side to grab some fire sales, as I don't see the bull market ending just yet. Indeed, Crypto Caveman capturing my thoughts exactly. GB Wally.
This is when most people panic.
Indeed.
This is the time to have a cool head, because these are the moments that you're looking for.
These are the moments where people hesitate to buy and then end up regretting not buying the dip that they just promised themselves a few days ago they would buy. GB Professor Wally, another channel supporter in here. Good morning, Mr. Wally. Marco's in here. Good morning, says Marco. Good day to be in fiat if you got out on Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, absolutely. If you got out on Saturday or Sunday before the big downturn, you are probably super comfortable. There's no better feeling than selling what might have been the top or local top for now. So I'm sure a mega relief to anybody who sold 40K. Mega stress probably approaching anybody who FOMO'd in the 30s. But listen, guys, don't get shaken out just yet. Hold on to your bags. As Vidush in the live chat says, hodl gang, hodl gang, hodl gang. $50 super chat from Marco. Once again, thank you so much to Marco. Very generous. Thank you very, very much. Hopefully an indication of Marco's trading success this week, thanks to some of the mentorship and counsel from our analysts. Quentin Long in the live chat just became a helpful supporter. Thank you so much, Quentin. Nice to have you aboard. Crypto Bull in the live chat. Sup, everybody. Happy Monday. Indeed. Shout outs to our time stamper.
For some.
Indeed. Peckham08, let's go, says Peckham08. Bruno Mars. Oh, Bruno Mars. Bruno Martins. Bruno Martins. Not an epic Monday. Well, depending on which side you are, but I still think any day.
I had a pretty good day.
Any day Bitcoin goes up or down 20% or more is epic. Whether you're on the wrong side of the move or not, it's epic to witness this kind of volatility. This many billions flow in and out. Peckham OA, Exquisite, P. Shinuslow, says Schweinslow, howdy folks, Alex Bollier, Private's in here, Skokie Cat, Utah, Stun Gun, Rob G, Ron Legato, Mr. Ether as always is in here, Philly Carr is in here saying evening chaps, Philly of course being one of our channel supporters, shoutouts to Philly.
Thank you for the kind words earlier, Philly.
Yes, Philly actually dropped in a £5 British pound sterling super chat already, so shout outs to Philly. And let's see here. Let me just mention the last few and get on with the analysis. Robin Valvagol. Hey guys, always happy to see the D-Live push message and find you immediately on YouTube. Indeed, yep. If you don't get the YouTube notifications, D-Live notifications work.
I have a question. Are we able to lemon these people?
We are not.
Have we dropped lemons on D-Live in forever?
We are not. I would have to talk to Ben about giving me D-Live access so I could admin that during the course of the show.
We'll look into it. I know you D-Livers. You need your lemons.
Indeed.
We want to make it
It would be nice to.
We're not going to be lemonizers.
It would be nice to open the chest.
Yeah.
Let's see here. S. Hyatt's in here. Let me just shout out the last couple of people. David Windle's in here. Mikhail Kittner. And that about B Flow's in here. Shout out to B Flow. Challenged Investor showed up. Right. Man, today is a busy day in the live chat, but
I think they're all here to celebrate.
We nailed it.
I hope that they missed out on the dip. That's what I want to have happened for all of you.
Sean Gini.
Hope you were watching the show and you thought to yourself, "Man, that have one ISP choice, right?"
I do, but yes, I got my router back in the mail, or I got my router in the mail on Saturday. I haven't hooked it up because after Friday's stream went so swimmingly well, I had thought that I don't want to jinx it, put the new router in, maybe everything's working again. No, apparently.
Boo Jack.
Yes. All right. Tell me we're restored.
Can they hear us now?
I think they will be very shortly.
God.
Let's find out.
I don't see the spinning ring anymore, so there it came back.
Should be back. Be back. All right, we are back. Sorry about that, guys. I have my new router next to me, but I have not yet hooked it up. Friday's stream went so well. I felt like maybe my network problems are over with, but I guess they are not. Go figure. Go figure. All right. We are back. Sorry for the delay, everybody. Let's take a look here. Yes, I have the new router with me. I promise everybody I will hook up the new router after today's show, so hopefully avoid any more issues. With that said, where were we? All right, I was shouting everybody out.
You're gone, Jack.
What is with this thing?
Now you're back.
Now you're back again.
Lord have mercy on me. I swear, I have nothing but contempt for this. I don't know why it goes on like this when everything else works pretty good. I stream other things from time to time, and then I go live for the show, and suddenly we get big. Good enough for now.
I'm gonna lost you again, Jack.
Yeah.
Right now, but who knows for. Briefly back, but I mean at this rate it seems to just be getting worse.
Please restart your computer.
It's definitely more router related than computer related, but
restart the router?
Yeah, I could do that. I mean at this rate I'm just gonna plug in the new one if I'm gonna completely power down and kill the stream, guys. My apologies for all the troubles we had lately, guys. I'm sure Alex of all people.
Part of life.
Indeed. Well, I know, Alex. I know I probably should have, but again, after Friday's stream, I almost felt like I was going to jinx it by switching things around. All right. That's it for now. Let's see here. Restart this whole shittery, says Mikhail Kittner. Yes, that's precisely how I feel.
I can't disagree.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope things remain stable. I know you don't want to hear that, Alex, but so far we seem to have restored things, so we are good
Restored order.
Yes, we are good to go for now. And I'm gonna switch over to the main scene here. Alex, I've got you on screen. Feel free to flip over to your charts. And I think we're running fine for now. Sorry if we have any further issues, but at the moment it seems like we're restored. Hopefully those hiccups have now cleared themselves out. Let's continue with the show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well guys, let's just hop right into it. This is Bitcoin. As you can see, as you guys know, we topped out over the weekend, and we've just been kind of steadily falling for like 24 hours straight.
Yep.
So it appears to me that we have found support at this level. We're getting a TT buy signal here that should complete in the next hour and a half. I posted up some potential future support levels for the members, and we actually hit one of them today. I thought this was like oh, I'll put this out here for a few weeks from now, but no, here we are. As you can see, this level on the daily is shown here as this order block that we kind of sink into here, and on lower time frames you can see we briefly trade inside of it right here. We break back down and retest this support level, getting a buying signal right here. So the prevailing downtrend, here we go. Let's use this one. The prevailing downtrend is shown here, but we also have a more parabolic downtrend on lower time frames, seen breaking here. So I feel really good about this spot. Let's take a look again on lower time frames. Where's my? Here we go. On the 5 minute, you see it's just a really beautiful Adam and Eve bottom right here. Very sharp V bottom followed by a rounded bottom, just like this. A nice inverted head and shoulders here as part of the bottom. Just very bottomy behavior at support, where we want to see it on the break of this more parabolic trend line. At the same time that we're getting this 4-hour buy signal. Did I already say the 4-hour buy signal? The 4-hour buy signal. That's nice. It's nice to have that kind of confluence when you're at support. So I do like this spot to come back up and at least retest, 35, 36,000, if not coming all the way back up to kind of retest this 39, 40,000 or so.
Not to mention the bullish divergence there on the 4, which is about to complete with this 4-hour candle closing, which is also matching up nicely with that time transformation buy signal.
Yeah, this is a bullish divergence, but I would look for this on a higher time frame. Yeah, something like so. Here it is on the 8-hour. It's sort of the same bullish divergence, but it hasn't finished curling up here. But yeah, as you can see, there is a divergence in the momentum in the spot that's telling us we're likely to bounce back up and kind of retest the baseline for below. Right now, we're way below all of our lower time frame baselines.
And that's what lays the idea in my head that there's a possibility here that we get quite a sinister buyback.
Yeah, we're overextended. We're overextended. Everybody who wanted to short late, everybody who started shorting here and just shorted here, they're like, oh, I'm going to short even harder here because we're breaking down even further. Guess what? They're like, oh my gosh, we're going to break 30K. Oop, right in the face, right in the face, right in the face. These guys are going to take it right in the face. So, Yeah, as we know, people who were late to the party for shorting, the time to short was up here. Jason nailed his short. I went flat.
Mm-hmm.
Down here is not
I
the
mean,
time to do anything.
you should see the Twitter post that I put out. I put it out to, I believe it was Crypto Kobe or something like that. But as soon as the 4-hour parabolic trend was done, I said, "See you guys at 32," and here we are.
Yeah.
It happened much faster than expected, but
Interestingly, over the weekend, we had a gap down on CME futures. I imagine we could end up gap filling here, but don't forget, we never gap filled 9600, so it's not like these things have to be gap filled. This is a pretty overextended daily trend here on CME futures. We're getting a sell signal at the end of today. How do we not close down at the end of today? That would be some sort of buyback, wouldn't it? Yeah. Here we are at weekly resistance on the CME.
finally.
Yep, as you can see, we have resistance here at 38,760. I have drawn it off the CME chart, the trend-based fib extensions here as shown. It's off the weekly, low, high to low. And then that gives us this weekly resistance level right here. And I know some people are still looking for 44,000 to also be tapped. Maybe. I've heard suggestions that we could get a bounce back here and then a blow off top.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it could happen. Right now, as you can see, we are still holding this trend, even if the more parabolic trend is broken here on Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So I still think this is a place that's ideal to look for a bounce, come back up towards the highs, maybe trade sideways a bit more, give alts some running room, and then market downturn. I would still like to see these other support levels tapped. We'll come back up, retest, come down, sideways down, and then on with the bull market. A simple 50% retrace. It happens in bull markets. So I'm not looking for much below 20,000, like this area right here. I think these days are probably gone forever. Although I'd love to see them.
I'll buy them.
Yeah, I would buy them.
I just bought the 31K dip personally. I'll buy all the way down.
Yeah. See, Bitcoin dominance had a down weekend, but an up day today. So essentially, since Bitcoin broke down, alts have been falling harder than Bitcoin has. So that means Bitcoin dominance is rising because more money is leaving alts than is leaving Bitcoin proportionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we still do not have a strong return of the uptrend on Bitcoin here. This still feels more like a rejection here, a move down the week before, and then Bitcoin kind of ticking up against alts a little more before we break down more and alts have their day. I do like this at the end of this week, which this week just started yesterday, so we'll see. But at the end of this week, we should be getting a nice bearish divergence here on our weekly oscillator time transformation.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the major alts, we could see this trend hold right here, this more parabolic trend. But I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up breaking that and coming back down to the weekly trend. That's kind of what I have drawn out here. We'll see what actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, this weekly baseline is killing me. Mid-perp, we essentially need to bounce in this area relatively soon and continue the trend, or else we'll just break the... Is it the daily trend or the weekly trend? If we want to consider... What would the weekly trend be? Something like... Yeah, this is the weekly trend. Okay. So essentially, if we don't hold this, it's going to end up just being like alt perp right here, or we're likely to break down and then continue onwards. And the reason why I'm thinking we will continue onwards for these things is that really we've broken the previous swing highs here. We've made new highs, and right now we are retesting them, as you can see right here on the daily. Zoom it like this is the previous high. As you can see, we're bouncing off of this area right now. So, it's right now, it's good. It's healthy for a bullish trend. If we start breaking the uptrend lines that I've shown you, then it's worrisome for alts. But for right now, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. I think both Bitcoin dominance and our alt basket indices are showing us that we're in okay shape. You can see here we are. On shitcoins, we wick down into this high right here. See, like the entire area is already bought back up because this entire zone is liquidity right here. Here it's liquidity for the selling. Come back up. Here it's liquidity for buying. I think that's very healthy. We close today here, maybe a little bit more up. We get a turn here, continuation. So I really feel like while for the last several weeks, Bitcoin has been the better option going forward, alts are now going to have their day. Everybody's going to look around and realize, what's the risk reward on Bitcoin? Bitcoin's up like 300% this year. What's the risk reward on altcoins? A lot of altcoins are back near April, May, or at least they're down 80%, They're in better positions as far as your risk reward. And people are going to have a lot of profits that they're taking off the table if they've been long Bitcoin from 10K, 20K, 25K even. If you were in 25K and you panic sold 32,000, you still made a profit. You're still looking around, and if Bitcoin starts trading sideways, you're going to think, where else can I put it, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's a good general overview of crypto right now. Let's move back on over to the Dixie, which is what we were looking at last week as potentially reversing and taking the wind out of Bitcoin sales.
Hypothesis concluded.
Yeah, hypothesis concluded. As you can see, we're facing resistance kind of right here. Support, resistance. So we could pull back a little on the Dixie here, which would be great for our speculative Bitcoin bounce long that I was talking to you guys about earlier. Dixie pulls back here, gives Bitcoin some room to breathe. As you can see, all day long, just been pumping into Bitcoin. What's been happening all day long with Bitcoin? Dumping, right?
And this is one of the same reasons why I put up a long from what ended up getting in at 31,928, but I was looking at that 32 range because I really do feel like after that pop up from the Dixie, now that we're getting back into the regular trading week, that you're going to see the Dixie sell off a little bit, and then with this giant correction in Bitcoin, you're probably going to see some upside intraday or at least intra week.
Yeah. But this is a clear break of trend. At this point, you cannot deny that this downtrend is broken. But, I mean, you could argue, like, oh, maybe this is not super insignificant. I mean, here we are. Here's support. We're at resistance. We're not going anywhere. We got to recover over 90.5 before I'm going to believe that. Okay, cool. But time transformation says go for it. I mean, Look at this on the weekly right here. Look at this and tell me that you think we're going to go down from here. No, it's here we are printing a nice bullish divergence. As we break out of a downtrend, time transformation prints an oversold signal, and we've broken above our daily baseline. There's literally no longer anything bearish about price. It's like, okay, we're back into starting to look bullish. Definitely. And what I love here on the daily is you can see we print 2 bullish divergences in a row as we make 3 bottoms. 1, 2, 3. Bullish divergence right here. And then we start moving up as we break the baseline and our trend, and we print this weekly reversal signal, and Bitcoin's dropping, and the traditional markets are dropping. Yeah, that's what I've been telling you guys. Oh my goodness, look at this. Is this a weekly sell signal as we break down out of this rising wedge that we have all been watching for months now? You guys are going to hear a lot of narratives, I think, coming up. If this pullback is a little bit larger coming forward in the coming weeks, I think you guys are going to hear a lot of narratives about, you know, what's causing it, what's spooking investors and stuff like that. But I suggest that we've been kind of watching these things for months now. So for right now, we still don't have any sell signals right here. Things are down today, but they're not as down as they were this morning. In the same way that, you know, Bitcoin got a little bit more down earlier today. We'll see. You know, if the Dixie does continue moving up right here, it's really bad for the markets, guys. It's really bad for speculative positions, and it's really bad for crypto. Let's look at some chart requests. I've done like a little overview right now. Let's zoom in for people.
All right, let me pull one up.
Haven't been seeing too many today, to be honest with you.
I saw one from Crypto Caveman.
My advice that, you know, everything's down.
There
It
you
all
go.
looks.
I think I saw Cardano for Crypto Caveman earlier. Let's pull that up first.
Attaboy.
It is down.
Another Adam and Eve bottom there. It's a little bit.
I like
lower,
it a little. I like the Bitcoin one a little bit more because they're equal, sort of.
relatively equal lows, yeah.
ADA pushes down harder here. I think it looks like we're going to get a nice 3-hour buy signal right here. As you can see, this is our support level, which we are deriving from all the way. I guess we're going to have to go further back. Right back here. So we are bouncing off this level right here. You could have also think of it as a daily baseline bounce long, or bouncing off of the daily trend right here. There's just a lot of confluence in this area, I think, for a potential ADA bounce. Let's look at the Bitcoin pairing. The Bitcoin pairing actually feels a little weak in this spot. I think we might pull back here. Could pull back another 10% on ADA, actually. I think that's the way I would play ADA right here. I would wait for one more good pullback on ADA, and once ADA Bitcoin comes back into the buy area, that's when I would make my move on ADA USDT, wherever that happens to be. I mean, I'm expecting a bounce in this area, but right now we don't necessarily have a signal to buy a bounce on ADA yet. That's just kind of speculative based on what we've been talking about on alts. The fact that we pulled back into this nice little liquidity zone right here, recover over support, it looks nice, but we just don't have a signal yet. So I say keep your eyes on that buy zone if we can get to it. Otherwise, I would wait for a good 3 or 4 hour crossover that you can take. Oh, you could be getting a 4-hour signal here in an hour. So you take this back up to maybe 30, 31 cents. Another way to look at it is if we break this trend line, similar to the trend line that we're looking at on Bitcoin. Obviously, if we break that up and we have a buy signal right here, it's kind of a no-brainer. What's next?
All right, Crypto Caveman also had a couple other requests. 2 that I personally have an eye on. It's going to be Polkadot and Theta. Let's start with Polkadot.
All right.
Dot. Looks pretty weak so far.
Does look weak in this position. What I like about this spot is that it feels like we have come down and started to retest the high, but we haven't come all the way down and retested the high. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I do still think we can pull up a little here. Maybe come back up to retest 830, 850. See this liquidity right here. Leads me to believe.
I like that chart.
Yeah.
I think that we'll get bought back up to the 60 hole probably.
Yeah. So probably come back up into this space and then sell down one more time. And then this area.
One more time.
There you go. Yep. And really, at the end of today, we're probably going to end up stuck below the daily baseline. We're really going to be looking for shorts on dot.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Theta.
Theta, thank you. Theta.
Very similar.
Yeah, but this is almost signaling us a short signal. I don't want to catch this. I don't want to catch this knife. As you can see, we're getting a WTICO signal. Our oscillator's below 0. We're below the daily baseline. The only thing that prevents us from taking the signal is that currently we are we're below the qualifying line, which is hidden somewhere inside of here. But there's a qualifying line. You can see it right here. And it reverses over here, so we've got one on this side. So yeah, there's I don't like theta in this spot.
All right, that would make 3 for 3. Gotta approach these ones with caution, guys. If you're just gonna be a long-term buyer and trying to average your entries in, yeah, consider this 20% down move buying opportunity. But in terms of playing the bounce, taking this long,
Bitcoin, maybe get a pullback all the way down to here. Retest the highs of this as support. And then we'll get that continuation that you were looking for. But I think Theta still needs to pull back more.
that looks like a decent spot for a limit long entry. Certainly have to keep my eye on that. Okay, let's go in a little further. Okay, so this one is from a new user to the live chat. So let's entertain his request real quick. This is Frederick Bertelson. I am wondering if anybody knows about RECSi. They are one of the largest producers of polysilicon in the USA. Polysilicon is the main component in solar panels. All right, so I looked up the ticker for RECSi.
RECSI?
I'm seeing quite a few different ones. I think the American one is RNWEY. RNWEY, RNWEY.
It's a little hard to read. It looks kind of bullish, but yeah. I don't really have much to say about this. It's not in my wheelhouse, and there's I wouldn't say there's not a lot of market data. I mean, here it is on the weekly, but it's just so sparsely traded for so long of its history.
Mm-hmm.
There's there's nothing for us to do on this, man, or at least not with my system. My indicators were all like basically broken on this chart. There's gotta be, unless you've got the inside track on this, man, why don't you find a stock that a lot of other people trade that has more liquidity? You don't have to find yourself in these way out there obscure stocks. I mean, you're already in crypto. How much more volatility do you need, buddy?
Hard to say if this is a crypto trader or just a day trader coming through our neck of the woods. So, Frederick Bertelson, thank you for the
Frederick, if you are looking for volatility, come on over to crypto. You do not need to trade on illiquid markets like this.
RECSI, RECSI. It's not on OCAX. All right. Potentially might have to revisit it and give it another.
Well, it's the same chart, but it's far more liquid, so that's good.
Gotcha. Same chart nonetheless. Quite a mover in recent weeks, though, huh?
Oh yeah.
Well, we break the downtrend here. That's good.
Some second thoughts, Alex?
Well, I mean, this is a different set of data, so I'm looking at it again. Well, it looks like they're basically profitable for the first time ever. Oh, no, there's a little bit of profitability back here. Okay. Well, from what I can tell from earnings, they've had a very profitable quarter after a couple years of unprofitable quarters. What information do you want, man? I still feel like you know, if you're really looking for volatility, there's better options than a small stock. If you know something about it fundamentally, then I suggest you buy it and hold on to it. But there's nothing special on the chart technically, as far as I'm seeing. You know, it doesn't look, you know, especially ripe or anything.
Yep, I do think you mentioned he is an investor, and so if you do think the fundamentals are strong, you're looking to invest for the long term, you like this particular stock, well, I think you might have answered your own question, Mr. Frederick Bertelsen from Norway. But thank you so much for joining us here in the live chat. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll be looking.
I think it's likely to continue to appreciate. I think if you're holding it long term, you're probably good. I don't see any signs of weakness. I just don't think there's anything to do on it right now as a trader. Do you know what I mean? Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next one. I see one just came across right now, and I'm going to answer it really quickly because it's a quick one. This is from AZ Devon, asking, what's that volume-looking indicator on the far left-hand side that you have, Alex? That would be the VPVR.
This is VPVR. This is volume profile or volume by price. You can find it in TradingView here under volume profile. Visible range, but there is also fixed range and session volume. These do similar things, but of course session volume shows you each day's volume profile, and fixed range is a range that you set versus just what's visible on your screen. So there's a lot more to learn about volume profile. I will allow you to Google that, but hopefully that at least lets you know what to start looking for.
All right, thank you for the VPVR answer, Alex. Thank you very much. Let's get into the next one. I see quite a few requests coming in for Ethereum. We have Subtext.
We didn't really look at Ethereum, did we?
I don't think so. Subtext and Karahan Lannister saying, Ethereum, please. Put the Ethereum up for these guys.
Well, at the end of this week, we'll probably be getting a sell signal. We're pretty overextended from both the weekly baseline and our weekly trend. I'm kind of looking for a pullback towards these areas, I think. Well, I'll show you on the weekly. Sorry, I've got this on for just the weekly. This is the 20 weekly moving average. So yeah, as you can see, we're very overextended from it. I would like to see a pullback at least towards this area, which is roughly $800. Top here, consolidation here. potentially all the way to 650, 700, which is resistance right here and resistance right here. I like to see it come down, retest it as support here. Kind of maybe wick through it on the weekly, but hold this line ultimately. And then I do expect Ethereum to ultimately make gains against Bitcoin here. As you can see, we break down out of a multi-year downtrend against Bitcoin, as shown. You can see it on here. So from 2018, 2020, we're in a downtrend against Bitcoin. 2020, we break it. I feel like this uptrend against Bitcoin is likely to last, right? Especially when we just had another downtrend that's also broken. This multi-month downtrend that breaks right here. So while we do have a pullback these couple of days on Ethereum, I think Ethereum's going to be the better choice than Bitcoin going forward. The Ethereum bull market probably hasn't even really begun.
Another case of buy the dip and pack your bags for the long term if you're here for the long stay, guys. If you're busy FOMOing in at the $1,200 top, well, here's an opportunity to average it in a little bit. Scrounge between the couch cushions if you have to. I noticed Subtext just left a comment saying, I literally dumped my entire IRA and wired the entire balance to Binance this morning. Somebody really buying up the dip from the looks of it. Okay. Thank you for the Ethereum request. Alex, I think that kind of concludes your thoughts on Ethereum. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect.
No pressure on me, Subtext.
A bit of pressure on you, Jason, actually.
Right.
Knowing that, you are maybe
She
indirectly...
definitely takes my signals.
Joking, right? I think she does, doesn't she?
No, she does take my
Oh,
signals
she does.
for sure.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, cool. I thought you said she.
That's why
doesn't.
I'm
She
saying
never-
no pressure.
Yeah, indeed, no pressure. Indeed, it's nice to know that we're, even indirectly managing some of the members' money. Don't let that.
Don't even pretend. Not financial advice.
This is not financial advice.
Indeed.
We're not indirectly managing anybody's money.
Yes, we're just kind of joking around here, of course. All right, next one is going to be XMR. Philly Car XMR is the player with volatility to note in the last 24 hours, and Jane Doe XMR as well. So let's take a look at Monero.
Okay, I know we came off the bottom really hard recently on XMR Bitcoin. Oof, look at that. I think I'd like to sweep through this area one more time. We're slowly forming some points of control here, but I think there's still more volume to be had in this area. Oof, but this is really bullish right here. XMR looks really good in this spot. I don't know if this is the week to buy. Like if we just this was the wick and then we just keep moving up and then up and up and up. But it does look like this is near the time to buy. The weekly here is super concerning. And this could be that Bitcoin kind of takes out XMR with it, even if XMR rises against Bitcoin. So as of right now, we have a weekly sell signal. This week just started yesterday. But the daily is pretty concerning too here. I think at least while we're below the daily baseline, there's nothing for us to do on XMR. We're going to have a cross under the end of today. This is just time to sit on our hands for XMR. I hope we get a cross up soon and we can just take it to new highs. But until we do, let's just sit on our hands, not do anything with XMR.
All right.
But, yeah.
Proceed with caution. Wait for the signal to form. Moving into the next one. Thank you to Philly and Jane Doe for the XMR requests. Next one is from Replug in the live chat saying, link please. Chain link.
Linky.
Link Bitcoin still hanging around its lows, but I feel like the more time it spends in this area, the more bullish it is. We did get a buy signal here last week. So I think this is pretty nice. We've got a very some nice bullish divergences over here. We could look down a little further, but I think we'll start to recover over support here. And as we do, I don't know. Maybe it's wishful thinking. I mean, here we are on the weekly with Link, and this actually looks pretty rough.
Mm-hmm. Just like a swing failure just happened.
Yep. Push up off that and then rejected immediately from resistance.
It's in the same category as XMR to me right now. I think you just need more time to see what actually holds, what support levels hold, and if it doesn't, then you're.
Yeah, potentially this entire area is a distribution area. Well, I don't feel good about it while we're underneath the weekly baseline. This sort of feels like what this is telling us is that really Chainlink is actually just trading sideways at these levels. Even though it's been high volatility for us down on the daily and below.
I think you gotta give it more time.
Yeah. I think there's just, it's not clear yet for Link. Jason's right. Let's just give it more time.
Patience, everyone. Patience is a virtue in this space. So let's not rush into any positions just yet. If you're absolutely itching to do something, well, consider
just the gym.
Well, that might not be doable, but just buy a little bit of the dip to put your mind at ease, and then leave the rest of your bag ready to buy up more or take the market to the next direction once a clear signal does form. But thank you to Replug for the link request. Here comes the next one from Michael. WTICO USD. What is WTICO?
I think that's West Texas Instruments oil.
Let's see. Yes, crude oil. WTI. Yes, it is West Texas crude oil. Yes, it is. Alright, take a quick look at crude in that case.
Alright, well, BCO is down today, but our trade is up. Let's go over to WTI, which is basically the same. Yeah, so we opened a long here. As you can see, we got our momentum oscillator fired. We were above zero, crossed up, and above our baseline here. So we took this trade, hit take profit 1, moved our stop to break even. And today we're just trading sideways. There's nothing else to do on WTI. If you're not already in a trade, then I guess you could take this at reduced risk. I mean, we did pull back a little here, and it's not necessarily threatening. But I would probably just consider that I had missed the trade and find another market. It's not like there's
your trade.
Yeah, I mean, guys, there's so many markets that I literally cannot even keep track of them all. So there's always something going on somewhere. There's always money to be made. So yeah, for right now, there's nothing to do here. We're getting a pullback on most things, as you can see.
Indeed, market-wide pullback. Try not to lose your lunch, guys. Or your kids' college fund, for that matter. Alright, so I think we're done with West Texas. Do you have some final thoughts, Alex?
Yes. My first thought is that WTI is not West Texas Instruments. It's West Texas Oil. I don't know where I got... the I is... yeah. But no, I don't have any more thoughts on oil or anything like that. We can take a look at other things if no one has.
No, I got quite a few here. I got a question right now from Philly Car. Question: what's the liquidity circulation in alts to drive this price volatility? My sense is it's not on a lot of coins moving, i.e., price on site supply. All right, so it's a general question, I guess, regarding liquidity in alts and how is it driving price volatility. I guess it depends on the market. More liquidity in certain alts.
Yeah, exactly. I think alts are much less liquid than Bitcoin, and because of that, as people take profits on Bitcoin and roll them into alts, the alts have a lot more room to move because there's less supply sitting in the books. There's just less everything, and so even a small amount of the demand for Bitcoin cascading over into alts is a huge boon to whatever alt that is. It doesn't take nearly as much money to pump them up. So, yeah, I would say it definitely factors into it definitely factors into what is happening with alts, that they are less liquid. And part of that is why a lot of alts are a retail game. Because institutions, they just can't get into a position, except that maybe they can over a long term. But trying to sneak into something where there's not enough buyers, you can't have all your limit orders set up, and then you certainly can't market order. There's just too much slippage involved because it's low liquidity. So, I think that covers it.
That was some. Thank you very much, Philly and Alex alike. Okay, moving into the next request. This one comes from Ivan X in the live chat. Also, I'd like to request Tron USDT and Win USDT. He says it broke resistance as forecasted. Seems like it's below again. So yeah, let's take a dive into that.
Little wink.
Tron and Wink.
Well, we're above the daily baseline. That's a good sign. Here you see that we are breaking the downtrend. That is also an excellent sign. Yep, we traded sideways out of it. If only we had a little bit more volatility, we'd have a long signal here on Tron. But as you can see, our explosion level is not rising here like it is here. Here and here, here.
Yeah, give it till the end of the day.
Yeah, perhaps. Let's look at the USDT pairing. Maybe that's a little better. I should know that. Actually, we're below the daily baseline, so I would say, and here we are back inside of this downtrend. Ooh, what an ugly fake out that is. If we what does this look like on the weekly here? Tron looks like it's at a top here. I don't like Tron. Look at this. So pretty bullish here, and then we start trading sideways, and then today we break below the weekly baseline.
It's another swing failure. Is that a higher high?
This is a higher high, but it's like a fake out.
Yeah.
Because then we make a lower low right after this. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we haven't closed this yet, so maybe this will all be one huge wick, and we'll just keep going up. But
fantastic. Doubt it.
I mean, we did retest the 20-week moving average here. Yeah, there's nothing. I just don't like Tron here. Nothing for us to do. What's next?
All right, then an ugly looking alt. Next one is Wink.
I think this is another one with good potential to bounce in this spot. It's a very steep trend line right here. You can see we're already basically in the process of, well, hold on, let me fix this. Okay. I would just keep tabs on this trend line, and as soon as we break it, that's when I would be looking along. I'd try and get a signal at the same time too, if possible. 3 or 4 hour. But yeah, with this consolidation level right here, we pump and we come down and we retest it. I like it.
Yeah, that doesn't look terrible.
The only thing I don't like is about how we're sort of still inside of this pattern right here. You get a fake out above it, rejection from the weekly baseline, break back down. Yeah, there's nothing for us to do in this spot yet. We don't have any signals. Could be good, but until we get the signal, let's not take it.
All right, there we have it. Thank you to Ivan X for the Tron and the wink. Here's winking right back at you. But let's move into the next one. Freeman's Cryptoverse in a live chat says, can you please take a look at DCR? And I also think he's asking for Nano and Zen. Went real good. Thanks. All right, let's see what happened to DCR.
Looks pretty rough on the weekly here, if you ask me. Getting a weekly sell signal here. Looks like a blow off top. We could get a bounce here, come back up towards $60, $65. But I think I would like to. I think we're probably going to break down from here in the long term. So here, back up. Maybe we'll even trade sideways for a couple weeks before we break down. We were talking about how this kind of looks like a spring right here. That's still a possibility, but until we get some sort of signal, I wouldn't take it at all. So we're below the daily baseline here, just trading sideways. Weekly USDT pairing looks pretty rough. We're cross under here on the weekly too, so I just wouldn't take it. There's nothing for us to do on it yet. If we can get a better signal, then maybe it'll be worth taking. But what's next?
All right, this user also requested Nano, so let's give Nano a quick look-see, and then we'll move into the next request.
I like the break of the downtrend here. But I feel like all we really did is come back towards the towards the median. Yeah, well, the point of control is kind of like the median price for the market in this spot. I would suggest to you that there is nothing to do with Nano for right now. Nano is probably going to come down and retest support wherever that is. And this is actually kind of dangerous, this wick up to the point of control, because oftentimes what you'll see then is that was an exit pump before we just break down even more. I could probably, there was a point of control right here. What happened? Pump up, and we break down further. Pump up, break down further. So I don't think I'm too interested in Nano in this spot. Please stop distracting me subtextually. Thank you. I do like this spot for a bounce on the USDT pairing. I think like a lot of the USDT pairings, you can see this is kind of like the bottom of all this liquidity right here, and then we have a low volume node in between these two trading ranges. So we could swing back up towards $3.50, $4. I don't like how far away we are from the main downtrend. It sort of feels like we're more likely to pull back up and then dump again from this spot. Yeah, let's maybe wait at least for a break of the more parabolic downtrend, and then we'll see what happens. But I would keep my eyes on the Bitcoin pairing, really. And if that got stronger, then I think Nano would make more sense. But for right now, you're trying to choose the best alts, right? So you want the alts that look the best on their Bitcoin pairings.
All right, Nano to be decided. Let's move into the next request.
Wasn't it Zen?
I'm gonna save Zen because I saw another person request Zen, so I'm gonna break up the requests and do Zen in a few from now. This one comes from Z Devon in the live chat. He's asking for EOS USDT. Speaking of Dan Larimer and EOS, let's see how bad this thing dumped on us today.
Well, I mean, it's just
Yeah, there's nothing to do,
Brutal.
man. Yeah, there's nothing to do except stay out.
Oh,
I don't
crap.
see anything I like about this on any time frame.
Sure, Dan leaving the project probably adds insult to today's sell-off injury.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe try picking it up again around $2. I don't think EOS is done falling. Anyway, yeah. If anything, I'm looking for shorts on EOS here. We're below the daily baseline. WADA's firing. We're just not below zero, and we're a little too far away from the qualifying line. But other than that, it's all set up for a short, man. So I wouldn't touch it. Bitcoin pairing was looking better yesterday. Now it looks like crap again.
It's amazing what one day can do.
Yeah. When we were here, you asked me about EOS. Oh man, yeah, this looks really good. We're breaking above the baseline right here. We're curling up. WADA's starting to turn green at least.
WADA's not there though completely.
Yeah, WADA's not there to give us a loan.
Would have kept us out.
Yeah, now here we are 2 days later. I don't like that nearly as much. And I don't like the resistance above us.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the fact that we've gotten a little support here. But let's not forget where we are. So essentially, this is like the point of last support for us. Literally bouncing off the lows here on Binance. As a matter of fact, let's head over there, draw a line, and we'll see how close we are. Now we're even below it. Oh my gosh.
Just do Alt. Just do Alt A. Do Alt H.
Yeah, I know. That's what I use every time I use a horizontal line. But I'm trying to decide if I want to use this spot or this spot. We'll use this spot. Ooh. We really are hanging out at the lows, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not interested in EOS right here until we get just a little bit more bullish movement. And then if we do start to round this bottom and move up, and especially if we make a new high over this, long the hell out of it, man.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good yet right now.
Yeah.
All right, alt season temporarily put on pause for EOS, but check back on that. Was weekly breakout.
Yeah, essentially we got to make it over this resistance.
All right, keeping our eye on the EOS for now, but sad state of affairs over at EOS land with their Larimer departing and all. But all right, let's get into the next one. This one is from Peckham08. Do I quadruple down on Falcon Swap? Asks Peckham08. So Peckham08, not doubling or tripling down, he's quadrupling down. Now
I was looking at it. It's definitely retraced an awful lot here.
It's just one of those ones that you have to give it more time to really find its support here. Because if that drops out on you, you do not want to be in that.
I will say this. I'm not super fond of these 3 black crows right here.
Okay.
I feel like we could bounce up and then get full continuation right here. Kind of retest maybe 1 cent or 10 cents rather.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm agreeing with you, Jason.
Yeah, no, I like that as well. Like, you're meaning like after the 3 black crows, a small rebound, and then a much bigger sell-off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of come up, make fake people
I
out.
could see that.
They're gonna get this.
And that's kind of where I agree with Bitcoin as well, because I guarantee there's a bunch of trap shorters here at these lower 30 ranges.
Yeah, exactly. And people are still probably shorting right as we speak because we're retesting the 31,000s right now.
Yep.
But I mean, you can see EOS turning around. A lot of these Bitcoin pairings are starting to look a little bit nicer in this spot. ADA's holding on right here. If we start moving up on ADA, that'll be super bullish. And then in that case, we won't wait for that lower price that we were looking at. But for right now, we still haven't broken this trend. So you can see, oh my gosh. Did you see that? Whew. Oh, here we go. We'll see if the support holds. Bitcoin retesting support a third time. Distracted. What's next on our agenda?
Okay, thank you to Beckham08 for the Falcon swap. I see a lot of talk about Cardano. Have we done Cardano yet? Can we look at Cardano?
Yeah,
we were just looking at Cardano, and I'm pretty sure we looked at Cardano a little earlier. So just a little pro tip to everybody in the audience. After the show is wrapped up, we're going to have timestamps posted within like probably 10-15 minutes of the show ending.
Yep,
so just
Yep,
thank you to Crypto Bull for doing timestamping. So just refresh the page after the stream is over with. You will find timestamps there shortly after. You'll be able to review all the tickers that you missed. So check those timestamps. You'll definitely review Cardano after the show. All right, next one comes to us from Philly Car. Where's Sushi Coin headed these days, he asks. What's Sushi up to?
Oh, speaking of which, I think I literally...
You know what, Jason? You're the sushi expert. Do you want a sushi?
I mean, I can. I think literally just now I stopped out on sushi.
Let's see.
My stop was at, let's see here, $3.28.
Damn.
28.7.
Yep. You did it in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, I just looked at it. I'm like, oh well, we just stopped out, but we hit TP1 and TP2, so I am not concerned.
And everybody, this is Jason's stop right here. This is not a support level.
Nope.
Well, and it's a great place to have a stop because once we're under the daily baseline, you're like, I don't want to be in this anymore.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's why I moved it up to there, because if we get to that point, I want out, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've already, I got to close that, but I'm pretty sure we did pretty well on it, so. We'll see here. Close it out real quick.
I think Sushi looks pretty weak in this spot on the weekly right here. We're still a lot of days away from this closing, but during this week we can come back up, and as long as we still close down again, we're going to get this weekly sell signal. So I think we could even come down and retest $1.50. Maybe this area right here. I think there's just probably not much for us to do at this time. We'll keep our eyes on the on this. Well, I guess it's more of a weekly trend. But as you can see, we're already there. We go. That's perfect. Yeah, it looks rough, man. I don't like it. I would want to be out. Nice. I'm not looking to buy this dip on it, as you can see.
I didn't think it was that good, but yeah, we pulled 19.3% out of Sushi, so
beautiful.
Right?
Goodbye, Sushi.
Get out of here, you gas station Sushi.
Rest in peace, Sushi. All right. Well, at least you managed to pull a couple of take profits out of your Sushi signal, Jason. Yep. Shout outs to Jason with another successful trade posted to the premium group. Pretty good. All right, next one. Okay, we did EOS and Cardano, so I'm going to skip this one, And next one comes from Vidush in the live chat. He says, you missed IOTA USDT. No, we're just getting to it now. So let's take a look at IOTA. I haven't seen IOTA come through the trading desk in a while. So let's see what this OG coin is up to.
Well, good news is that we do have a weekly buy signal from time transformation and a bullish divergence. That looks pretty nice. Whoops. We didn't get a long signal here. We almost did yesterday, but then we closed above the qualifying line. I think this is starting to look a little strong. I worry that we might get EOS right here, where here we are at resistance, and then bam, right in our face. So I really want to see us break and hold above this resistance area first. But if we do that, then I think this could be a pretty strong trade.
Why IOTA?
Yeah, this is a broken trend. This feels good here. Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's good.
Yeah.
3-day could be a little stronger here. Could retest the lows. Whoops. Yeah, that's definitely not right. It feels kind of like we might have reversed from resistance here. I mean, we tested it once, and we come back up, and we're rejected from it again. Super hard. This was a really hard rejection. I mean, if you didn't know what was going on with Bitcoin and you just looked at this, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. You'd think that there's some kind of news or something, right?
Yeah.
Funny enough, Vidush here in the live chat says the IOTA blockchain is currently being used to track, let's call it biology test results.
Yeah.
Over at the Frankfurt airport. So apparently
that is cool, I guess, but how does that help price?
Not too sure, especially
No, I mean, maybe there is a mechanism. Maybe them using the blockchain to track that data is really good for price. I guess maybe I don't understand enough about IOTA, but my instinct is that I mean,
someone said VET was doing that too, though, for the
tracking. VET was doing COVID, and VET actually has, like, it works with businesses and stuff like that. And even news like that barely affects the price. I feel like crypto is just so market cycle and hype driven. Like, you know, if it's a bull market, it's just a bull market, and then you just long things, and then it almost doesn't matter what the news is. And then when it's a bear market, it's also so cycle driven that it also doesn't matter what the news is, good or bad.
Yep. Question is, did the management authorities over at the Frankfurt airport, did they purchase a big bag of IOTA in order to start using the IOTA blockchain for record keeping? Or did IOTA approach the Frankfurt airport and say, hey, here's a bag of IOTA and access to our toolkit in order to do a little testing for us free of charge? So that's always the question with some of these startups. Do they just hand over the bag and say, please play with our tech? Or does the company or corp have an interest in holding a bunch of this in order to complete their transactions, whether it's proof of stake or proof of work or whatever? All right, let's take a look here. All right, so we have, I see a comment came through here. Just gonna highlight this one. Where was it? Here we go. Yes, JG, one of the channel supporters. So, shout outs to JG. He says the FCA, which is the UK Financial Conduct Authority, the equivalent of our SEC, says all crypto investors could lose their cash. Have you heard that? Yes, I did see that news today. It was a bit of a warning.
We like Bitcoin anyways. We don't need cash.
But yes, so they're basically warning. They're warning. They're warning the British populace to. I think this is an indication that clearly.
I saw that news is super misleading. If you actually read the article, you will find out that UK. First of all, the news story is from 2 days ago. Second of all, the UK. It's only some banks won't let you use credit cards and stuff like that. But there's still other banks you can use in the UK to off-ramp things. I feel like it's total FUD.
Yeah, I agree. I think as soon as I saw it, because I literally, it popped up on my phone this morning, and I'm just like, oh, here we go. It's like literally what we're focusing on in the book club right now. It's about the media projecting these things that don't really know what they're talking about.
Well, I saw the news article, and probably foolishly, I uncritically shared it based off of the headline. I shared it in a couple of servers. And then someone pointed out to me that it was a couple days old and that it was really misleading. And then I read it, and it was misleading. It was like, people in the UK can't. People in the UK no longer to cash out their crypto. I was like, wow, that's a pretty big deal. If that assuming that's true. And then you read the article, and it's like, well, HSBC won't let you use a credit card, but you can still withdraw money onto it. It's just.
Yep.
It's a nothing burger of a story disguised as a bombshell report, and I think it's just clickbait.
Indeed,
for sure.
I think it does indicate that there must be a lot of retail interest, a lot of FOMO potentially entering the space right now, and they felt obliged to warn the public to some degree. And you know what? To us more seasoned traders and investors in the space, yes, it amounts to a nothing burger. But maybe it is a fair warning for all the noobs piling into the space right now. Maybe they do have an obligation to at least warn even a little bit the average retail trader in the UK. Be careful.
I wish that the market actually cared about the people that were trading it, but unfortunately, human beings are too greedy for that. Like, I really don't feel like they're actually trying to warn anyone that you could lose all your. Just be careful, guys. Like, no, that's not what they're doing. This is FUD.
Yep, could be.
Yeah. In my opinion.
But I do understand, because I do, counsel a few people. A lot of people ask me, crypto's gray. You should get into crypto. What's your advice on crypto? And I always start with the disclaimer. It's highly experimental, highly risky, highly speculative technology. Be prepared to lose it all. So be extremely, extremely careful. Bitcoin.
We are back over 32,000, guys. Look at this nice swing failure pattern, triple bottom at support here. I opened up some longs in this spot before the show. We're down a little bit on it, but I mean, it won't be that long.
I opened mine up at 31,928, so we just got right back above it.
Yeah, so this is the charting equivalent of a SpaceX rocket coming in for a landing, right? So this is when it fires.
It just landed, boom, right on our launch pad.
Yep, landed perfectly.
Now we're reloading.
Yep, fueling back up and ready to do another delivery to the space station. So
Elon.
I see a lot of parallels here between the SpaceX space program and the Bitcoin chart pattern. How about that?
So you're saying that Bitcoin's going to make it to Mars?
It will sooner than later, but we might lose a few vessels along the way. But did you guys see that story? Not to derail this too quickly, but there's that story where people were asking if they could get like a free ride or something to Mars, and equated it to indentured servitude, saying Elon was saying something like, "I'll get you to the moon, I'll get you to Mars, but you have to be prepared to work it out."
Yeah, Elon was talking about how, don't worry, on the moon, on Mars, loans will be available to everybody who can't find work. And it's like, wait, loans will be available to everybody? That sounds like indentured servitude. What do you mean?
Kind of is.
Can't find work, here's some money we're going to lend you, and then you can work it off whenever you do find work. It's like, and then other people were like, wait, what do you expect? Space communism? Is that what you're expecting? Get out of here. Of course you got to work for it on Mars.
Space communism. I love it.
Space communism.
All right, I'll be an early investor in Mars real estate from the sounds of it. Thank you to Mr. Musk for making this all possible. Hopefully I don't die in the initial wave of mine collapses on Mars, but if I make my way through
I like how in Jack's wildest dreams he's working in the mines on Mars.
Yeah, right? Like he's not doing anything better than that. Just working in the mines.
Capitalist. He's like, man, if only I could just go back and work my fingers to the bones in mine.
Look,
those were the days.
The initial economy is going to be rather rudimentary, and it's going to be mostly hard labor, guys. So that's okay. I brought my knee pads and my back support, and I'm ready to start digging. Let's get to work, guys.
Okay, I'll sell the shovels, buddy.
All right. Yeah. You import the shovels. I will offload the containers on Mars. You will be the Earth broker. I will be the Mars retailer and recipient. I'm sure we can work out some deals. Philly can send over the first batch of doggies for the space. Yeah, the space pets. Give me the most well-suited doggy breed for space exploration, please. All right.
I think you mean Doge breed.
Doge breed. There you go. All right. Enough messing around. Let's get into the next request. This one comes from Sil T in the live chat. He's asking for VET VeChain. Let's take a quick look at VeChain while Bitcoin bounces to 31,139.
All right, let's look at the Bitcoin pairing first. Kind of looks unappealing right now. It looks like it's in for a continuation short for us. Top below zero right here. This is our zero line. Here we are topping. Gonna cross below here. Whoops. Get out of here. Tiny little dot. VET USDT is looking like it's in a good position. This right here is a nice consolidation area. We break up, we come back down, and we retest it, get bought back up above it. I think like a lot of alts, we're probably going to come back up and retest the highs here. So I'd probably take it to 25, 30 cents. Maybe more like 26 or 30 cents. Probably break above 25 here. We still have our fib levels. And it seemed like we came back down and retested the 0.618 here after we retested the 1. So kind of perfectly normal. We even came down to retest the 5. So as far as the rules of Fibonacci retracement, this is still a bullish trend and a normal retracement level. So as you can see here on the 12-hour, we're pretty overextended from the baseline. That's another reason why I'm kind of expecting us to come back up here and retest it. Or at the very least, trade sideways. I mean, you can see that's what happens here. We pull back up above the baseline, and then we kind of trade sideways and wait for it to catch up to us a little bit before we finally pull up more. Okay, I think that's good for VET. There's nothing for us to do right now.
Right. It's kind of where a lot of them are right now. It's just we need a little bit more time to just get a directional bias here.
Yeah, some sort of cross up on our oscillator or anything.
Yep.
And with this kind of volatility, it kind of wreaks havoc on your oscillator, so you need to give it a little bit of time to reset.
Need a wait and see approach here at Cracking Crypto. We don't just pop off unexpectedly. We're very measured.
If you do that, you're gonna end up losing money. I promise.
Yeah, we're very measured with our moves here, guys.
Yeah, you're gonna have a very unhappy wife.
All right, shut it down.
Unhappy wife, unhappy life.
Shut it down. All right, here we go. We have next one, and this is probably my final request, guys. If I missed one of your requests, let me know. Drop them in the live chat now, because otherwise, this is currently the last one on my list. This one comes from Thomas Baumeister. He says, can we look at NEO USD? Actually, do I have the feeling we already looked at NEO? Or maybe I'm mistaken.
Did not.
All right, let's take a look at good old NEO.
We talked about NEO. We did talk about it. I do not like how we just assaulted the high and got rejected here. and then are also printing a weekly sell signal, a daily sell signal rather. This to me feels like we're probably going to get follow through on this. Maybe we'll come back up a little bit today. There's a possibility that we retrace enough today that we do not get this sell signal. That would be good for NEO. The daily trend is still untracked. That is also good for NEO. But it's a pretty steep trend. So we really need this to hold. And on lower time frames, it just doesn't look like it, does it? This looks pretty weak on lower time frames.
It looks like it's probably going to come sideways out of that trend, then break.
Yeah. So here we are. We're basically, we trade inside of the baseline forever. And then finally, we just now break back below it here. If we tighten up our trend line here to lower time frames, we've even broken below it already. So I say just no. This is a big no for NEO right here. I think we've looked at other alts that are stronger. What we got?
All right, what we do have is
We never
11
looked
minutes.
at Zen, did we?
We never did look at
Actually,
Zen.
yeah, you know what? I did skip that one. Thank you for the reminder. I do have Zen here on the list from...
I know Zen pumped super hard past couple days. It's a call in another group that I saw, and I missed it.
I had it. I was in Zen.
Yep, you were in Zen.
What do we get out of Zen here? Looks like...
really beautiful... I don't want to call this an inverted head and shoulders because this does not make a right shoulder. But it's a very nice double bottom pattern right here. You can see this just bottoming behavior as we make new lows and then a higher low, higher low, higher low. Boom, big high right here.
Yep, that was a nice one.
I don't see any signs of weakness. This feels like a relatively normal pullback. We could pull back even more here towards $17 and then see a follow through. Kind of retest this area right here. On the Bitcoin pairing, if yep, this is super strong too. We're at resistance right now. One of the reasons why I don't necessarily think we're going to keep going right away on Zen. But a pullback towards the 5,000s right here. With this strong consolidation in the past. This is one of our buy areas previously. Although I don't know why, because looking at the buy area, it's a good consolidation area here, here, and here. But it never actually stays in there as a buy zone, really. There's no place where you're like, oh, I'm so glad I bought here. You're like, I wish I'd bought here. Or you know, I wish I'd bought sooner or later.
It's quite the... lift off there.
Yeah, but I'm going to leave this because I think this is where we could pull back to before continuing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that shelf as well.
Yeah, so I think for right now, nothing to do with Zen, but let's take out some higher time frames, and it looks decently strong here. We're getting a crossover on time transformation, but we're trapped below really strong resistance, as you can see. Just keep wicking up in this level. It's a little concerning, but this is our monthly trend.
And we just opened up that monthly.
Yeah, we're essentially we're assaulting the monthly trend right now, but we could close below it this week. Yeah, we could close below it.
I think that gives more credence to how far we are into the month to that pullback zone that you put.
Yeah.
I think you'll see that before you see it any more upside, probably.
Okay, so I think that's really all I have to say on Zen right now. There's a good potential that if we break here, like we can make some new highs, but we could also close the week down here. So exercise a little caution.
All right, so we've got at least one or two more requests to do. We have to entertain Mr. Ether here.
10 minutes left.
Yep, I know. This will be quick, I promise.
All right.
Here we go. Mr. Ether says, can we take a look at Hex, please, and save me any lectures this time?
Not a chance.
Yeah, I think at this rate, Mr. Ether's going to gun for all our jobs.
Right.
could be setting up here. We're hanging out at our point of control again. We're looking a little pumpy. Today looks very nice. We kind of can't take it because we're below the point of control. But if we cross back below the point of control here, I think it'd be worth taking long, especially with the very nice reversal signal here on time transformation. I would also like to see some WTICO confirmation here. This is the Bitcoin pairing. We'll look at the USDT pairing too. Okay. This will work. Nope. Not interested. Look at this. So here we are. We cross below the daily baseline. And then today, we hold below the daily baseline. Our oscillator's below 0. WTICO is coming in. Volatility is rising. I don't want to be in HEX. I'm out. HEX Bitcoin looks good. But maybe it's going to be one of those things where you will lose USD value in the trade if you take it because Bitcoin will fall. And Bitcoin will fall more than HEX will rise against Bitcoin. But one way or another, the USD, HEX USD is telling us not to be in right now. So I'm not interested. I think that's everything.
All right, that covers HEX. Thank you for HEX and entertaining another HEX request. Here we go. This is probably the final one, and it comes from Jonah Love the Show. Jonah asks, can we take a look at RSR chaps? Reserve rights token.
Oh, reserve rights, sure. Let's open up ChartX here for that.
I think it's super cool how many people you guys interviewed over at SF Blockchain Week. That like a lot of these projects popped off in the following year. So RSR being one of them.
You know what the worst part is everybody's like, oh, DeFi this, DeFi that. And we're like, what the fuck is DeFi? Man, you know, people get into the dumbest trends. What's this DeFi stuff? Oh well, let's just interview this guy and ignore what he's talking about. Because I wish I could tell you we all went in super hard in late 2019 on DeFi coins because we were at the San Francisco Blockchain Week, but that is not what happened.
That is not what happened.
No, that is not what happened. So, hey, I think if you guys go and look at the interviews, you will find them incredibly informative and also insightful in a way. It's like, wow, if only I had seen this at the time and paid heed to it, like I wish I had, then, you know, maybe I would be in on some of these things.
Right.
I don't necessarily want reserve rights here yet while we're turned down. One of the good things I like about this is we did make a new all-time high here, and we are pulling back and retesting the September swing highs. And this is one of the things I said that we were kind of looking for a lot of shitcoins to do. Remember, we're kind of looking for a retest of September. See, September swing highs on our alts, and that is what we're seeing here on reserve rights. So while we are turned down here, if we started to find support here and turn back up, I would suggest that you definitely take that trade because it's likely that we'll continue making new highs on reserve rights in that case. As often happens with assets making new all-time highs, they tend to just keep doing so. So as you can see, like this is our daily trend right here. It's well intact. And if we were to come back down and even retest this area, we could still maintain the trend and come back up and keep going here for reserve rights. So if you've got a good entry, I say just hold on to it for right now. There's no need to be scared out of it yet. Yeah. And if you don't, then don't do anything yet. It's not time. We'll wait and we'll see.
Okay, that's RSR for Jonah Love the Show. Thank you, Jonah, for joining us yet again. Okay, I got all the requests complete. That's it, guys. If I missed any, my apologies, but I'm pretty sure we swept up the last few. Thank you to everybody who submitted a comment for today. I'm going to scroll up real quick. And let's see here. Jubu Professor Wally. Man, I got 5 kids to feed, says Mr. Wally. Name that movie. Total Recall.
Yeah, that's Total Recall.
That's right. We did watch that actually as a...
I was going to guess Beethoven.
The movie. Okay.
Oh, you're still talking about dogs.
Oh my god, that's funny because it's you know, I could see Beethoven saying that. All right,
Yeah,
at least
I
I think
his
Beethoven
kids.
2 at least. I think that's the movie where he had all the puppies. Either way,
think
I don't know. I'm not up to date on my Beethoven.
that was like
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the movies. Maybe I think it's the movie where he has the puppies.
yeah. I don't think I've seen that for like 30 years, so I'm just going by memory. Professor Wally also says something hilarious in the live chat. He says he's tagging Philly when he says this. I mostly assume you're here just to confuse the AI bots from deciphering the English language. Yes, Philly Carr is in here to
He has a way of speaking.
yeah, he crowds out the live chat a bit, and any AI bots, any NSA sniffing bots that are coming through the live chat, they get completely thrown off once they try to parse Philly's messages. So
They're like, "Who's the owl? Who's the owl?"
It's so cryptic.
basically, YouTube starts diverting resources away from our channel. You know, the AI is overloaded trying to parse the information coming through our live chat and just says, you know what, skip this. Let's not spend any more time trying to shadow ban these guys. All right.
I like how here on MidPerp we're sitting in liquidity right now. You can see we're just sitting inside of a little pocket of volume. Way below where everybody else was buying. The actual buying opportunity was down here near the previous high. Let's see.
Could still be a thing.
All right.
Could be a thing.
Just gotta wait. Yep.
Could be.
Mhm.
Well, so far we're looking okay. We
I
bounced.
I think this was a good 4-hour close for more upside.
We did get the 4-hour close, didn't we? Yeah.
Yep,
I
just
mean, we
now.
got the buy signal, guys. Or wait, no, we didn't get it on FTX Perp. We got counterfeited just a little. I don't know if we got it on any of the others. Did not get it here. Not get it here. Did not get it here. Oh, definitely didn't get it on CME.
Way different there.
No, it looks like we gotta wait for another 4-hour period for the signal.
Yeah, definitely counterfeited us at the last second, huh?
Yep.
All right.
It's important to wait for close, people. Wait for your closes.
But the base Acer in the live chat asked, at which percent level of profit should one dump Bitcoin, if any at all, and rebuy? Question mark.
It depends on what you're doing, man.
Yep.
Like
What
as soon as you go into it, yeah, as soon as you go into a trade, you should know all of those factors. And if you don't already, then that means you're probably gambling, my friend.
Yeah, it's really going to depend on what time frame you're trading on. Like, how long are you looking to hold it? Are we talking about 5 hours? Are we talking about 6 days? Are we talking about 6 months, 6 years? Like something like that matters. You know, if you're in a 1 day long trade, you know, don't shoot for 20%. You're probably not going to hit. Well, maybe if you shorted last night, but on most days, that's really dumb. You're not going to get 20% on 300 out of the 365 days a year. And then as far as, even if you do know the time frame, it's really going to depend on the trade. I would advise you to have just set take profit levels, stop levels, whatever, makes sense for your system. Unfortunately, there's not one easy answer. If there was, I would just tell everybody, hey, you got guys, sell Bitcoin after it goes up 5%. And I'll just tell them that.
Right.
And then it'll be a much shorter show.
Indeed. Does depend on time frames. I do recommend you check out some of our education material, maybe some of our indicators. They do help paint very clear levels. And for instance, we have something called Quadriga ATR. It does help visualize on the chart roughly where you can put take profit estimates. But it's a kind of a more difficult question than we can answer readily here on the live stream. It does depend on a lot of factors. So maybe join us in the Discord, discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. Maybe some of our members can help fill in a few of those gaps. But all right, thank you for Alex answering that. I think I'm kind of good here. I've covered most of the questions. The Bang asking, can we take a look at Elrond? Unfortunately, We're pretty much at the show end, so we've done all the requests we can, guys. Please save your requests for tomorrow or join us in that Discord and we'll look into it. Shoutouts to Philly, came through with a £3 sterling live chat, which includes a fist bump emoji. So yes, fist bump right back to Philly Car. Much love to Philly. I know you get pretty excited in the live chat. I don't mind it, so don't feel like anybody's scaring you off. I know that you said you're over chatting. Yes, you might be over chatting a little, Philly, but we love you anyway. He says, watch that silver gap. Indeed.
World takes all kinds.
We ramble on sometimes. Whatever.
So do I.
Indeed. Indeed. All right, everybody. That would probably conclude Breaking Bitcoin for this Monday, January the 11th. What a wild ride. Let's hope this roller coaster goes up after this dip. I would like to climb out of this tailspin and take a little profit around the 35K mark. That's my game plan. Analysts have their own. Be sure to check out the premium Discord as well. This is where the analysts post all their juicy signals. These guys are on point.
Hey,
you don't want to miss them.
We got over 50 likes.
We got over 50 likes.
I didn't even have to beg for once.
Yep, and we averaged over 100 viewers, so I'm sure we have a few new people in here.
Awesome.
I do recommend you guys jump into premium.krakencryptocurrency.com or discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. This is a community of hardcore traders that are very professional and very successful at what they do. So if you are looking for professional mentorship or any kind of professional counsel from seasoned vets in the game, you will not be let down by our guys. We do not we don't spread FUD or FOMO or any, we're very measured people here. So you'll likely, if you've been here for the course of the show, you probably like what we're doing. Follow those links. And of course, you missed any of the analysis, we will have timestamps in the post show. So just refresh the page in the next 10-15 minutes, you will see the timestamps. But that's it, moving to wrap. Much love to everyone in the audience. We will see you tomorrow for another edition of Breaking Bitcoin. Final words to Alex and then Jason. Alex, any thoughts?
Nope, trade safely, guys.
Yeah, right. I mean, same with me. Trade safely, guys. Here, I think that we could potentially see intraday pop to the upside here. Whether we do or not is to be seen, but I really do think that we're going to have a bunch of trapped shorting right now. So, I mean, just be careful. Like I said, trade safely, guys. I mean, you saw it over the weekend. This volatility is insane. If you're not protecting yourself actively, you will get burned.
Good advice, good advice. Somebody asking for a invite link. Let me paste that into the live chat right now. It's discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. Let's see here, edit this link. Let's see here, well, copy it. All right, there it goes. All right, link is in the live chat. Join the Discord, guys.
Get on in there.
Indeed, this is where you want to be. We are in there all day. And as Jordan A says, highly recommend the Discord. These guys are fantastic. Well, I'm blushing, but it's likely thanks to the hard work of analysts like Jason and Alex and everybody else on the team that makes things possible. Absolutely. You know who you all are. Crypto Bull, you in particular, thank you for timestamping. Let me know if Ben successfully onboarded you this weekend. If not, I'll have a talk with him, but I'm pretty sure Crypto Bull is officially in the squad. All right, much love to everybody. Time to wrap. Cheers.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.